Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another update. So today is kind of a very special day. It is Streets of Rage's 25th birthday. This is Streets of Rage 2, but you get the point. I actually don't have Streets of Rage 1 in my collection, which I'm a little bit ashamed of. I need to rectify that. But happy birthday to Streets of Rage. You're 25. You can rent a car now. Congratulations. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, so I have something that I wanted to talk about. It's been kind of annoying me since I made the video last week. I actually meant to include it on the video last week, but I actually kind of forgot, and I wanted to do a little bit more looking into it just to confirm. Sega is not making a Genesis Mini. They are not making one for your home. They are not making one you can take on the go, little portable thing, okay? Those things do exist. Sega does not make them. They have licensed them out to a company called Games, and they make these products, and they're, from what I hear, pretty shitty. I've never actually owned one myself, but they completely fuck up the sound. And it's nothing like the NES Mini, because the NES Mini, first off, is a first-party product, and it's going to have HDMI out. Now, the Sega thing is, like I said, it's an Games product, so it's licensed from Sega. Sega really has nothing to do with the creation of it. The reason why it's getting news now, it's because it's being updated, and they're putting out new games, and it just happens to be happening at the same time as the NES Classic. So all these news things came out, this news cycle came out that Sega's, doing the same thing. They're coming up with the Genesis Mini. Not true, bullshit, it's all false information. It's just this piece of shit garbage, Games thing that you can get. It's got like 80 games on it, 40 actual Genesis games, and then another 40 generic crap games. But I'm sort of like disparaging a product. If you have it, I'm sorry. If you're happy with it, that's great. The only reason I'm kind of like pissed off about it is just because this whole like news thing just it's pissing me off. But anyway, if you have it, enjoy it. But I guarantee you that if you have, if you go out and you buy an actual Sega Genesis, those things are going to sound and play probably a lot better. So just an FYI. Okay, so that pretty much takes care of that. On to cool stuff. This week, I'm really, really pumped. I got something that I'm really psyched about. I finally am getting a Sony PVM. I cannot wait. It's the PVM 14L2, if I've got that correctly. Very, very excited to have that. So it's like a 14-inch professional video monitor, hence PVM. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to do some videos on it. Like that's pretty much how I'm going to probably capture light gun games, for retro consoles. Obviously PS3 and PS4, that stuff. I do have some light gun games, but they work on HD TVs. But I never had a CRT, so the actual light guns will work on them. I haven't had a CRT in a long ass time, so it's going to be awesome to have this thing. The games are going to look phenomenal, I hope. I'm really kind of hoping that the thing gets here and it's in really good shape. The seller has a great reputation. I checked, he's sold lots of PVMs, and they apparently come very well wrapped and all that stuff, but I'm still skeptical just because that's how I am. But I'm really, really kind of pumped that this thing is going to get here. I got it for under $100. So yeah, yes. All right. So that's happening. Another thing, I got a package here from GameStop, actually. Now, I want to open this up with you guys because I know we did I attempted to do a GameStop video last week, but everything that I ordered was disc only. And I tried to tape that thing last week like a bunch of times, so I have all these reasons. But all right, so let's check this out. So let's get this guy going here. So I ordered 2 NES games. So the reason why I ordered NES games is because I figured, like I said last week, my main problem with GameStop is you don't know if you're going to buy anything. You don't know if it's complete. You don't know what you're getting. Now, I bought a couple NES games because I don't go for complete NES games. I don't go for complete pretty much anything that's a cartridge based, because a lot of the times those things came in, outside of Sega, came in cardboard boxes, and those just, I hate cardboard boxes. Those things are a pain in the ass to keep, in good shape. Anyway, not my thing. So cartridge only, I have no problem. So that's why I figured I'd take a gamble on cartridge only NES games through GameStop. So let's see how this actually turns out. I'm a little concerned just because pretty much everything I've seen with GameStop doing retro is bad. And my experience last week wasn't great, so let's find out. These aren't the most expensive games, so I'm not expecting these to end up being repros. But you never know. I mean, that's happened. We've seen that time and time again on like Pat Contry's channel and elsewhere. All right, so let's check this out. Okay. Get all this crap out of the way. Jesus. Okay. So this first one's looking good. First one is looking good. So they come in these like plastic baggies, I guess. I haven't seen these yet. All right, let's open this up. So I ordered Castlevania, the original. I have 2 and 3. I just didn't have the first one. I was getting this. This is already pretty much cheaper than the one I see on eBay. And then the I was getting like 26% off. I was combining like a couple different codes. So I got like 26% off of this and this other game that I got. This label is in awesome condition. And yeah, it seems pretty legit. It's a 3 screw copy. I don't know if they all were for Castlevania. All right, next game. Let's check this out. I'm gonna hook that up later. Hopefully it actually plays and it's actually Castlevania. I'm kind of expecting it to be a-okay though. And for this one, okay, this one is okay. The label's a little bit got a little bit of wear or something on there. I don't know what you would call that exactly, but I got the original Double Dragon for NES. Again, I had Double Dragon 2. I don't have 3. But again, I really wanted this game because I was talking to my buddy Rob at Too Many Games about it, and I just got it in my head, and I had to get it. So again, this was like $10 or $12, and then I got 26% off, so that was kind of a no-brainer. So I mean, these seem to be in good condition. Yeah, I mean, again, another 3 screw, so maybe they were all 3 screw, and I'm just an idiot, and I just don't know that. But yeah, I mean, this seems like a pretty good score. So yeah, maybe, you know, if you're going for like some relatively common games on NES or Super NES, maybe give GameStop a shot. You know, it's at least maybe worth trying it out, just because you can just go to the store and return it if it shows up and you don't want it. So all right, that's cool. So my last thing about pickups. So I ordered this stupid freaking game today. So maybe you guys have probably heard about this today. It's kind of a relatively new story. This game Galgun, what is it called? Double something? I don't even know. This game was not on my radar at all. But my buddy Paul calls me up today, we do the con together. And he's like, dude, you have to get this game. It's going to be a collector's item. There's a misprint on it. And I remembered seeing the story on like Kotaku or something like that. And sure enough, this game Galgun on the Vita only that comes out tomorrow, it has a misprint on it. On the back it says it's rated E for everyone, but under it says sexual content. So actually this game was supposed to be rated M, and the PS4 version is correctly labeled. However, for the Vita version, it's incorrectly labeled. So those are always kind of, misprints and errors. Those things are always kind of interesting to have. So that's kind of why I did it. I ordered it. It was 20% off. I went through Amazon. So, I mean, whatever. If it was not 20% off, I probably wouldn't have done it. But, I did it anyway. So we'll see what that looks like when it gets here. Just kind of interesting, but just a heads up, in case you guys, I'll post this video tonight. So in case you watch it tonight and you want to order it, go for it. Get the Vita version on Amazon. Interesting story. Apparently I read something right before I made this video, so I haven't had time to check it or whatever. But apparently they're not going to do a recall because this was strictly being sold through Amazon and then through the publisher. So it was only available to 2 online retail locations, so they're not going to bother with a recall. So I don't know how that's going to affect it, but I guess we'll see how that plays out in the future. But I can't recall a specific example right now of a game that was known to have an error and they just said, screw it, just go with it. Yeah, I can't think of any right now. So if you guys think of something, let me know. All right. So just a quick announcement. I am going to be away next week. I'm going on vacation, finally. I'm going to be up in Lake George. So I might just make a quick video just to say, hey, I'm in Lake George, and then I'll post it next week while I'm there, just so I can keep updating my channel. But just a heads up that next week there's not going to be really any content just because I'm going to be away. So just kind of a heads up for you guys. All right, now the last but not least, the movie recommendation. Okay, so I kind of struggled with this one this week, but I think I'm going to kind of piggyback off last week's and do one for kind of music nerds. And this movie, music and movie nerds, a movie called Control. Now, this movie, I think it came out in 2007. It's a black and white film, so it might not be for everybody. However, it's a film that's about the group Joy Division. I don't know if you've ever heard of that music group. If you have, I guarantee you listen to something that's been influenced by them. They're an incredible, kind of 70s, 80s new wave band. Unfortunately, the lead singer committed suicide very young. But then the group then went on to become New Order. So maybe you've heard of New Order more than you've heard of Joy Division. But their music's fantastic, and the movie was directed and shot by Anton Corbijn, who was basically Joy Division's photographer for several years, and he's been a photographer for many artists. His work is the guy's a legend. So if you look up him, you're going to find tons of his work. He's just started. I don't know. Actually, I don't know when he started making movies now that I think about it. But I definitely feel like Control might have been his first narrative. I have to look that up. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Let's look up his IMDb real quick. Anton, where are you? Yeah, there it is. Okay, so yeah, Control was 2007. And he did that movie, The American, with George Clooney. That was another good movie. I should recommend that one of these days. Yeah, it looks like he's done all sort of like music videos and like documentaries. And it looks like Control was his first narrative film, just sort of like kind of linear narrative film. And then The American was his second. So yeah, I highly recommend this movie. It's absolutely fantastic. Even if you don't know much about Joy Division, it's super interesting. So yeah, definitely check it out. Guys, until I guess about 2 weeks from now, I will see you later. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this vacation. I'm going to be in the water. I'm going to be doing all kinds of ridiculous stuff. So guys, thanks for hanging out. Until next time, I'll see you later.